Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group Elegance. In this video, we will present about the European Union. So, what is the European Union? The European Union is an economic and political union of 27 countries. It operates an internal or single market which allows free movement of goods, capital, services and people between member states. The European Union's main objective is to promote peace, follow the European Union's value and improve the well-being of nations. The European countries are Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria, Croatia, Republic of Cyprus, Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Ireland, Italy, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, Netherlands, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, and Sweden.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Hafika and I will continue with the objective of RTA in European Union. There are several important objectives of RTA in the EU, with the first one being to introduce a common European area without borders. By joining the agreement, the goal would be to build a free and secure Europe with no internal borders, so that the citizens in the region can enjoy the rights by the European Union. The second important objective is to promote sustainable and stable development. Since the EU seeks to create a competitive market economy, which takes into account of their people's well-being as well as their social needs, joining the RTA would mean that a balanced economic growth and a stable price can be sustained efficiently. Last but not least, prevention of social exclusion is also one of the main reasons for EU to join the RTA. The EU works hard to keep people from drifting outside the labour market and society, in the hope to eliminate poverty and to provide equality for all. As a result, the economic and social development growth from entering the RTA is critical for the EU so that they can preserve children's and minority rights while also enhancing social security and closing the gender wage gap. Some key information about the EU in RTA would include its three main types of agreement, which are the custom unions, the free trade agreement, as well as the partnership and cooperation agreements. Custom unions eliminate custom duties in bilateral trade and establish a joint custom tariff with foreign importers. Examples of EU countries under this RTA would be Turkey and Andorra. Free trade agreement, which has been imposed on EU countries such as South Korea and Singapore, which began its enforcement in 2015 and 2019 respectively. The custom tariffs in bilateral trade were removed or reduced instead of being completely eliminated. Finally, EU countries such as Azerbaijan and Iraq are examples of countries the Partnership and Cooperation Agreement. These two states leave custom tariffs as they are and at the same time providing a general framework for economic relations to the participating countries.
Next, what are the European Union's regional trade agreement successes? The first European Union success for its citizens and the world is that it is the world's biggest single market. The single market serves as the EU's primary economic engine. It allows for the free movement of most goods, services, money, and people across most of the continent. It is undeniably easier to move around Europe now that all EU citizens have the right to study, work, or retire in any EU country. In terms of employment, social security and taxation, every EU country is required to treat everyone exactly the same as its own citizens. For example, the euro has reduced the risk of currency fluctuations and exchange costs while strengthening the single market. The euro is also a tangible symbol of European identity, from economic security to an integrated money system.
The second success is business, growth and trade. It is the world's largest trading bloc and exporter of manufactured goods and services, as well as the world's largest import market for more than 100 countries. For instance, successful EU programs such as Erasmus Plus can assist us in obtaining training to advance our career. When it comes to global trade, the EU is in a strong position as the largest player on the global trading scene, as well as a reliable partner with whom to do business because of the inclusivity of their trade agreement. The last success is through international diplomacy and development. EU countries work together rather than separately, and the EU is the world's leading donor of development assistance, working together to promote good governance, combat hunger, and protect natural resources. For example, the EU mediated dialogue between Serbia and Kosovo, which resulted in a historic agreement in April 2013, which is now being implemented with EU assistance.
Moving on to the failure of regional trade agreement in European Union, based on our research, we found that the European Union has been unconcerned about human rights, which the use of human rights conditionality in EU trade policy has been criticized on three principal goals. First of all, the system fragment structure. The critics have highlighted that the conditionality regime is inconsistent across all international trade instruments. As a result, human rights conditionality clauses have been left out of significant EU trade agreements. For example, those who relating to fisheries, steel, and cotton do not contain the human rights clauses. And these people often suffer from systemic and severe human rights violations, especially in the relation to the labor right. Furthermore, the lack of consistency in integrating human rights and EU trade sustainability impact assessment has resulted in fragmented legal structure of framework, undermining in EU effort to promote and protect human rights standards through the external relation. Secondly, the European Commission selectivity bias. For example, the case of Philippines is often held up as an evidence of the Commission double standard. We observe that the EU failure to act in response to the oppressive policy of the Duterte government and leading a brutal war on drugs, even though there is a considerable of international pressure for the Philippines to be removed from the generalized system of preference or TPS scheme, but due to the EU Commission double standard, the human rights clause remain dormant and the country continue benefit from that. Moreover, the government has not been held accountable for its violation. And lastly, the EU conditionality clause have been criticized for the absence of an effective monitoring or enforcement mechanism to ensure that the state comply with their human rights obligation.
I strongly agree that RTA in the EU should be maintained for three main reasons. Firstly, economic impact. When there is an economy movement to the country, and therefore, as a result of this movement, there will be a financial abundance for the banks specifically, which leads to a recovery in the country's economy. Secondly, technology transfer. Local companies also receive access to the latest technologies from their multinational partners. As local economies grow, so do job opportunities. Multinational companies provide job training to local employees. Lastly, the continuous improvement of the infrastructure in EU countries will help the presence of developed infrastructures in the country to attract international investors to invest in the nation. For example, the roads, ports, iron exports, and all the transportation methods of all kind. That's all for me. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.